Darren, why don't you give us a nice season 3 recap?
All right, this is who is on the board for season 3 so far. With the Joker, we got Joaquin Phoenix. With the Joker,
we're vamping.
With the Joker, we got Joaquin Phoenix. Invention of Lion, Jennifer Gardner. Howard the Duck, Chip Zien. Candyman, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. And lastly, People Under the Stairs, Mr. Brandon Quentin Adams.
I still saw you pump fake with your mouth. You had it written down and we just discussed it, but that's okay. I wanted the fans to see it too. All right, guys. And of course, that brings us to Die Hard. Now, of course, we may have some, no, not may. We do have some honorable mentions. And
I have two.
Yes, yes. I'm going to say, I want to give a quick honorable mention to, of course, here, William Atherton. He played Thornburg. In order to, it's easy to try to make people like you, but it's really hard sometimes to make people to test you. That's a special gift, and really you have to kind of somewhere have it in you really to make people do that. And he not only, I know we're only discussing the first Die Hard, but even when he reprises his role later, you hate him just as much. And now that I'm thinking about it, it was one of his lines. I forgot. I guess I didn't write it down, but this motherfucker leans into that lady and is like, "You don't let me in, I call INS." Comprende? As if the INS wasn't racial enough, and he doubles down with comprende. Like,
comprende, amigo.
Right, like, god damn. But it's really beautiful for what he does, because again, he's not himself evil, but like what we talked about earlier, those journalists in the 80s would do just about anything to get that story. But the way he portrayed the character, and here's the thing, he was such an asshole, the people he worked with thought he was like, "Eat it, dick." Or he said what he told the other guy, he's like, we're on air. And the other guy was looking, see that.
Now that it's all over after this incredible ordeal, what are your feelings?
And we're here live. So, I mean, so yeah, I definitely honorable mention to Thornburg. You have an honorable mention?
Yeah, I got two. My first honorable mention goes to Alan Rickman.
He won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
I mean, for that time, he was just a really cool, innovative type of villain. He was sophisticated. He was an intellectual monster. To be so commanding in his first movie role is impressive in itself. He brings with Alan Rickman. He in his first movie, in that character, like, he carries a confidence with him that you would expect to only see in a seasoned veteran actor that like knows. Is confident in their abilities. Like, he just, I remember the first time I saw it, like, oh, this guy must be like
30 years in or something like
well
that.
known. He carried himself so well.
My other honorable mention is going to go to Hart Parchment, who played Ellis.
Really? I mean, yeah, he was really good at being bad.
No, you don't understand this. Again, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck he did before it, after it. I don't know what he did yesterday. All I know is I have been watching this man's work for years, and it's been the same piece of work. You know how I get watching stuff over and over and over. But man, I just, like I say, he lit as much as John McClane was getting on Hans Gruber's nerves. Ellis managed to do that in 10 to 15 minutes, but it took, he needed, Bruce Willis had his detonators, he's messing up his plan, he was killing people left and right, but Ellis somehow managed to get under his skin. Think about it.
Because you know what it is? I keep wanting to say MacGruber. Gruber had a respect for McClane, and I think McClane had a respect for Gruber. Yes. I mean, as much as they hated each other, were against each other, they appreciated their wit, I think. But Ellis, yeah, he's like, this motherfucker.
And this, I can prove it this way. Again, because I talked about it earlier. He, now you got me saying, Hans killed two people, Takagi and Ellis. One was for business and one was for pleasure. Yeah. He could have easily let him go back in there, but motherfucker, you just wasted my time. Remember, he saw, he's like, I'm sorry, I guess I didn't see 60 Minutes. He was like, the fuck, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when he really lost his cool. So to me, that's my second honorable mention was him, because to me, man, he fucking killed it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hate him as a character, but that's a testament to his acting ability. My other honorable mention is Al Pal, Reginald Vell Johnson.
I had an accident.
When I remember watching it as a kid, Sergeant Al Pal was my favorite character easily. And it may be because I knew him from Family Matters, so he like brought that familiarity with him and that like wholesomeness, but This dude is the archetype for the perfect wingman. He is McClane's only support through everything. He's sticking up for him. He's the voice of reason on the ground. Like
what does he tell him? What does McClane ask him to call him?
Call me Roy.
Early in the movie, he told Hans.
I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually.
It's that subtle layers of character development all throughout. But yeah, I mean, he's what makes him so awesome is because we have the advantage of watching him be true to this loyalty to McClane, even when McClane is nowhere around to be witnessing him sticking up for him and like being an advocate.
You can go home. No, sir.
And yeah, he just in the movie, in all of the violence, the danger, the general sense of cynicism in the whole movie, Reginald Vell Johnson is just like this wholesome light of safety and security that you can cling to throughout the whole thing.
I shot a kid.
Much like the way McClane does to kind of keep him grounded emotionally throughout the whole thing. He is McClane's emotional support system, and he embodied that perfectly. And the last thing I want to say about Vell Johnson is if only every cop who accidentally shot an unarmed kid felt bad enough, the way, like, legitimately bad enough, and wore it on his soul the way he did, like, enough to demote himself to a desk job. So he, you know, because he just, like, everything about that character was admirable. Now, there is the flip side to that it's like, it could be viewed as propaganda for, like, you know, police being these amazing, upstanding people, but I don't buy that because he's the exception in this movie. Like, most of the other law enforcement are all a bunch of assholes that are just ready to go in guns blazing.
I think also I know that we would be remiss because clearly we've said rest in peace to Alan Rickman, but also rest in peace to him, Reginald Vell Johnson, because I told you he passed as well.
When did that happen?
Years ago. No, god damn it, that was Uncle Phil. I thought Uncle died.
Stop killing Reginald Vell Johnson, man. This is the
third time I've killed him.
Yeah, in a month that you broke my heart for a few minutes.
Well, no one tried him when he killed his child off family members. But anyway, all right. So with that being said, all right, time to get to scenes. Okay, so my scene stiller is going to one Mr. Alan Rickman. I have so much respect for certain type of villains, and the villains I usually have the most respect for are the ones who use their mind. He was a mastermind behind this, and again, he was the one that had to keep everyone calm, cool, and collective on his side, the cops, and also inside the Nakatomi building. And even you can tell he was one of those people, not only educated, he was proud that he knew so much about Western culture and the things Americans were going through, which is why he felt confident enough to come in there and make this plan. To him, we were probably just a bunch of stupid Americans, and he knew he can get through it, which is why, if you noticed earlier, there was a bet going on between my guy who was like, the quarterback is toast, and Carl. They had a bet going on whether Takashi was going to give it up because, as you know, stereotypical wise, that it's stated Asians are very disciplined and loyal, and they're not just going to they'd rather go to their grave rather than give it up. So that was their bet. But my point in saying this was back to Alan.
Sorry, it just made me think of the big hit.
Oh yeah,
ring ring.
Wait one moment. But as I looked at the character, and like you said, is really what you said. The first time I saw him, you could not tell me that was his first film role. Now, clearly he was a classically trained theater artist. I mean, well-renowned. But with that being said, again, what he did with his character, his wits, only firing that gun pretty much 3 times, twice to kill someone, and then one time when he came out the office just to get everyone's attention. It's almost like saying, yeah, he's a good actor, but it's what he told Holly Gennaro. She's like, you did all this just because you're a thief. No, Mr. Nero, I'm an exceptional thief. Like, yeah, bitch, I ain't no regular. This ain't no stick up. You know, it's because he said it. Well, as a matter of fact, they went on to kind of take it later on in Swordfish. They were like, he was like, because he stole all that money, but they're not going to be looking for me if it's missing. $600, they won't look for you. $600 million, they will find you unless they think you're dead. And they use that in Swordfish, where they're going to blow up the roof. And John Travolta's supposed to get away, which technically, you know, and all that stuff. But
I've seen 45 seconds of Swordfish. Can you guess what 45 seconds that was?
Halle Berry's nude tits.
Yeah.
All right. It was okay. And so to me,
Speaking
again,
of scene stealers,
there you go. But I definitely want to say that to me, is he again what he did with that character, man. I will. It's hard. You wanted to root for him, like I because really, he said I wanted this to go so professionally.
I wanted this to be professional.
He just wanted to come in, get the cold, get the beer bonds. He was out. He was fully prepared to go there and take it all the way. But
he did bring a rocket launcher.
He did, but he also told him, Mr. Takagi, it is a nice suit. It'd be a shame to mess it up.
I have to do it myself.
He's giving him, I'm going to count to 3, but hold on, because I've seen your American movies. There won't be a 4.
That's funny because little did he know there wouldn't be a 2.
I didn't think about it. There wouldn't be a 2. But lastly, and like I say, it was really for me that what really took it over at the edge when he went into the Bill Clay. Oh God, no, please, no, you're one of them. No, really, if you come back here, you can get on the moment, just like that on the hat of it. He had to, in the movie, become someone else. So I'm just looking like, man, that's a lot of weight to carry, man.
And he was carrying that weight on one leg.
All right, yes, sir. And that's for me. So my vote's going to be Mr. Alan Rickman. What about you, sir?
I'm going to let you know right now that this is going to be a draw. We're going to need a coin because I totally respect your Alan Rickman choice, and I 99.9% agree with it. But I have got to go with Bruce Willis as John McClane.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.
Because, like I said before, he is John McClane. John McClane is Die Hard. Bruce Willis is John McClane. John McClane is Bruce Willis.
It's the Iron Man treatment with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. That's a perfect analogy. Like I can't separate the two and imagine
Matt
it
Damon
without.
Can.
And I think that is the perfect definition of a scene stealer. If you literally could not imagine the film without that actor, then they did it. It's crazy how many people they considered before Bruce Willis because I mean it could have went bad in so many different ways had any one of those actors.
I think Richard Gere would have fucked this all the way up.
Yeah. So it's Bruce Willis's first time on a big screen carrying a film, an action film at that. The wit and comedic timing that he brings to the role works so well.
Welcome to the party, pal!
And it doesn't just work well for his character, but it elevates the movie as a whole and takes it to a level that transcends your average action film. Especially his ability to be simultaneously vulnerable and kick-ass at the same time.
Tell her that she's the best thing that ever happened to a bum like me.
He jokes, he cries, he bleeds, he hurts, he's relentless.
He's not some super cop, some indestructible, unfeeling, unemotional guy. He's a guy who cares for his wife.
He maintains this air of fearlessness while conveying to the audience like this subtle concern that's brewing underneath him. Like I can't even explain it. Like he'll be putting out there this air of confidence and everything kind of blows off his shoulder, but you could see it in his eyes sometimes. Like every once in a while he gets shook, but it's only for a beat, and then he's back to regaining his composure. And I think that makes him such a cool character to watch in a situation like this, because he isn't untouchable, and he'll never give them the satisfaction of letting them know that they've hurt him or intimidated him. He cries on the phone with Al Pal. He's in the bathroom crying. Like, the fact that he's able to show that kind of vulnerability, or what some might call weakness or whatever, and still be convincing as someone that can kick ass and save the day. The range that he brought to that character was just so impressive, and the fact that he carried the film. I mean, like I said, he is the film. Alan Rickman is, of course, the villain, and he's carrying a portion of the weight as the villain, but you got to, when you're being completely honest, John McClane is Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And Bruce Willis just...
So who you want to call? I'll let you make the call this time, because I know who I want to call, but I'll let you call. Oh, no, I mean, who do you literally want to call?
Oh, like a person?
Yep, and I think I know someone who's qualified. Here we go, I got it. We're going to do this live.
Are you calling your brother?
Yep, he's qualified.
Do you already know what he would say?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll let you ask him.
And we can't give any...
Nope.
Yep.
Hello, Mr. Wilson.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, we need a we're live right now, kind of on TTFT, and we need somebody to break a tie for us. We're doing scene stealers for Die Hard.
Let's say that last part again. Now you need a tiebreaker for what?
The best actor in Die Hard between Bruce Willis or Alan Rickman.
Ooh, that's a toughie.
I know, that's why you're on the phone.
That is a toughie. You know what? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I go with Alan Rickman.
Yes!
Go.
Go ahead, ask him why. At least tell him why. Say why.
Okay, yeah. Please let us know why.
And here's why. Bruce Willis, although he is a great entertainer, I wouldn't say he's a great actor. He's great on scene. He's great on camera, but I wouldn't say he's a great actor. But at the same time, Alan Rickman, he give it to you. He's flying. He's fine.
That is
he's flying. He's fine.
Yeah, that's I cannot argue with that one, but that is a great point, because you're right. As much as awesome as John McClane is,
John McClane is in like 50 movies.
I actually did say it. John McClane is Bruce Willis. So when you say Alan Rickman is the better actor, yeah, that's true. All right.
Thank you, Julian.
That's how I feel. Like I said. And now, of course, John McClane, they in the movies, he's always going to have the good one-liners and all that.
He does
but
come
Alan
with the
Rickman
advantage.
was giving you shoot the fister. Shoot the glass. Shoot the glass.
He had to say it in English, like you don't get shoot
Improv.
the glass. And then do you not remember his Bill Clay impersonation?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, brother. Come on, man. He gave it to you every way. I'm more than a petty thief. Come on now. he give it to you. He giving you comedic lines without the normal zingers, bro. He giving it to you subliminally.
And then, and last but not least, he killed Ellis, so he should get it just for that.
Oh man, let me tell you something, bro. Like I say, he gave it to you from beginning when he killed Takagi. I mean, what's his name?
Takagi.
First he complimented it on the suit, then he killed the nigga. Come on, bro.
He won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
He gave it to you every chance he got, bro. He gave it to you. So, like I said, although we love Bruce Willis and we root for the hero, of course, in the movie, Alan Rickman couldn't have been a better villain to play his antagonist to the hero, bro.
Well, listen,
he was subtly insane. That's what he was. He was a man on a mission to get half a million. I can't remember the million.
640 million in bearer bonds.
Right. So I'm telling you, and like I said, bro, he wasn't giving you the classic one-liners like Don was. But if you really watch the movie, if you're really a fan of the movie, he was giving you the one-liners every chance he got.
He did. He definitely did. Theo. Yeah, so listen, Julian Juilliard Wilson, we really appreciate it. We'll make sure we put up a still image of you, and you'll be on the next episode. Thank you for the tiebreaker, sir. Be safe on that road.
Yeah, that was a good call, because I agree with the two main points that he made that really sold it for me is the fact that he is absolutely right. As awesome as John McClane is, it required less acting chops of Bruce Willis, because it is so much the line is so blurred between who Bruce Willis is and John McClane's character, and the fact that, like he said, John McClane is the hero of the story, so he's coming with the advantage as far as the script goes of getting those great one-liners.
He's trying to get his wife back. He's an All-American at that point, but yeah.
And Alan Rickman is very removed from Hans Gruber. Like they're he was acting to play that part.
This is when he had the edge. When we're gonna end it here. He came. I told you he came into the building. There is no video evidence of him coming into that building whatsoever. He comes in the truck and they let him into the loading dock.
There's no video evidence of the ambulance coming into the building.
And that's a story for another day.
Yeah, that's all right. Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Yeah, the first German on the board.
You may not be joining reality for the rest of your life, but you're on the board here.
Yeah.
You'll
Did that win it for Robin last season?
I don't know about the season, but definitely.
I know he got on the board.
Yeah.
All right.